All right. That's better. All right. Listen, Brianna, we struggle with technology every once in a while. Sometimes it don't want to act right. Can you hear me okay? Is the sound coming through okay, Brianna? Give me a thumbs up if the sound's coming through okay. Yeah, once in a blue moon, we do struggle with it. All right. Okay, good deal. All right, so guys, give me a second. I'm running just a little bit behind. I'm going to give it just a little bit of time to get folks on here. I'll jump in, I'll get on, and I'll get you guys right off. All right. All right, Brianna gives me a healthy thumbs up. We'll take that. All right, so we'll give it a few moments to get some more folks on here, and we'll jump right into the meat and potatoes, and I'll get you guys on and get you guys off. So, all right. So, Derek, how are you doing this evening? My daughter Brianna's on here, and Brianna Smith, how are you doing this evening? Looks like we're doing good. Okay. All right, Maynard, how are you doing this evening? Says, I'm doing well, thanks. That's always a good thing to hear. Can't go wrong with that. All right. Well. I'm doing well. I can't complain. I had a very enlightened day, and every day above ground is a bonus, so we won't complain about that at all. So, all right, we got Laura on here. Give it a few seconds, guys. Get just a few more people on here, and we'll be good to go. So. All right, we got Deborah on here. We got Patricia Fig on here. All right, we got French Netta Bryant from Pittsburgh, California. All right, can't go wrong with that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be in California or not. I think I may. I think I may not. We're still trying to hammer out the details on that. So we'll find out here in July if that's gonna take place or not. Melissa, how are you doing? Who else we got on here? We got Trayvon on here. All right, guys, we're going to give it one more minute, and we'll jump directly into it and get it going. Okay. All right, good deal. Got Classy on here. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? I got somebody on here saying they can't hear anything. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound coming through okay? Melissa says, great to see you soon in Plano, Texas. Hey, Melissa, can you hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm having some audio issues, and I just don't know if you guys are picking up on my sound or not. Okay, Patricia says yes. Okay, perfect. So, Bree, my dear, I'm not sure what's going on. It might it might be your technology. My daughter's on here and says she can't hear me. So I'm not sure what's going on, babe. You might want to just kind of double check your connection, make sure you're good to go. All right, so I was trying to jump on Instagram, get the Instagram live feed going as well, and my Instagram account is acting goofy, and I don't want you guys to suffer because of it. This is what happens when you have poor planning, so we'll work on that a little bit later. All right, so the reason why I have assembled you guys today is I told you guys I had a message called What's in Your Pantry. And here's a question I have for you guys, because I know what my answer is as a child growing up. What was the one chore or one task that you would do with your parents that you absolutely hated? What is the one chore or the one task as a child you used to do with your parents that you absolutely hated? Because when I think back over the things I used to do with my family, I remember cutting grass. I remember doing yard work and raking up leaves. And I remember spring clean out where mom would say, hey guys, we're going to clean the whole house out and throw away everything that we don't need for spring. And some of those tasks would be daunting. But the one thing I hated more than anything else was going grocery shopping with my parents. Vincent says the dishes. The dishes was there too. That's before dishwasher technology was a regular staple of American household living. But I gotta go with going grocery shopping. And here's the reason why. If I went grocery shopping with my dad was an engineer. So engineers are very methodical, meaning if he's going to the store for 7 items, he's going to get in and get them 7 items and get right back out. We'd be in the grocery store literally for about 20 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Ring out. Facts about it. The only way we'd ever get stuck in the grocery store is if my dad ran into somebody that he knew, because my dad was a talker. When I look at my gift of communication, that came from him, because he can have a conversation and we'd be sitting there just looking at him like, for real, get a phone number or something, because we really want to go home and watch cartoons. I mean, we just sitting here waiting on you. So my dad was cool. But going to the grocery store with my mom would drive me crazy. It would drive me nuts. Because my mother was the type of person who would go to the grocery store without a plan. She wouldn't even have a plan. She would go to the grocery store without a list made out. So she had no clue what she needed. She had no clue what was missing in the house. And she would literally walk up and down every single aisle. It would just drive me nuts. She'd go up and down every aisle, and make it even worse. Not only every aisle, but she'd walk up and down every aisle and actually price comparison. So she'd pick up this bag of sugar and this bag of sugar and be weighing it out to figure out what was the better value. And I'm looking at her like, well, you just grab a thing of freaking sugar. It all tastes the same. It's no difference. And don't let her go to the grocery store and have coupons. Don't let her go to the grocery store and have coupons, because now that 45-minute trip turns into an hour and 30 minutes. You're walking down every aisle, up and down every aisle. You're a price comparison, everything for the best value, and you got coupons on top of that. So by the time it's all said and done, we will be mentally drained, just ready to go home. Facts about it, the only benefit of going grocery shopping with my mom was, depending on the store, number one, you got a chance to pick out what type of cereal you're gonna get. Because at that point in life, guys, there were 3 of us as siblings. So I had my older brother who was 4 years above me, and my younger sister was 4 years younger. And a lot of times you got the box of cereal not for the cereal, but because of the prize inside of it. And so we did rotation. This week is your week to get the prize. Next week is mine. Next week is hers. And so if I don't go along, a box of cereal may be bought that I don't necessarily want, because I want the prize inside of it. So that was reason number 1 for going on this tumultuous trip with my mother. Reason number 2, and I'm dating myself when I say this, back then, most of the grocery stores had what we called a cookie club. Most of the grocery stores had a cookie club, meaning that if you were under the age of 18 and you signed up this little membership card, every time you went to Kroger or Thriftway, heaven forbid I say Thriftway, they would give you 1 free cookie as part of the cookie club. And so those are the only 2 reasons I can think of why it was worth my value to go with my mom grocery shopping. Because here's the thing. I'm talking about the old school days of grocery shopping. I'm not talking about the plastic bags. I'm talking about when everything was brown bagged. And you got heavy cans inside that bag, and you got milk inside that bag. And when the milk starts to perspire, the bag begins to rip. I'm talking about where back then they would help you bag your groceries and also help you take them and load them in your car. That was the good old days. You can't get nobody to do that now. They'll help you bag them depending on the aisle you in, but other than that, you totally on your own. It's up to you to get them groceries from the store to the car. And so my mother would spend about $300 on groceries, sometimes $400 on groceries, and they would help us carry 2 to 3 carts full of groceries out to the car and pop open the trunk and help put them inside. And we knew the dread was getting home, because once we got home, we were going to be the ones taking those groceries out the car. So it would take about 10, 15 minutes just to get the stuff from the car to the house. And then once we got the groceries from the car to the house, it was our responsibility to stack the groceries. And so we're inside the kitchen cabinets and we're inside the pantry, putting all these groceries on the shelves one at a time. And what would happen is I would put stuff up. I would yell out to my mom. I would say, "Hey, Mom." She'd go, "What?" I go, you know you already got a bag of sugar here. You bought sugar, but you already got it. She go, "We already got sugar?" I said, "Yeah. Matter of fact, you already got bread. You got a loaf of bread right here. You bought bread. You didn't need it. We already got it. You got spaghetti here too. You bought all this stuff and didn't need it." And part of the problem was she was going into the grocery store without a list. She didn't check the cupboard or the pantry before she went to the store. And so what she had done is she was buying things that she didn't need. She was buying things that she did not need. It's kind of crazy because I learned at an early age to dislike going to the grocery store. It is one of my pet peeves. I will eat out all day long. I would love to have my girlfriend cook for me, but I hate going grocery shopping. I was so traumatized as a child. And I went grocery shopping about a month ago. I went to Kroger's and I spent $200, and I don't know how I spent it because I swear I bought like 7 items. You buy like 7 items. They got that little Kroger's Plus card. And they go, your items came up to like $200 and change, but you save 15 cents by using your Plus card. I'm thinking, gee, thanks. That 15 cents made a difference. But when I got home and started to load the groceries inside the cabinets in the pantry, I realized I was doing the same thing my mom did. I was doing the same thing she did. I went to the store impromptu. I didn't walk down every aisle like she did, but I was buying stuff kind of spur of the moment without taking an inventory check. And so what I've done is I bought stuff that I didn't need. And so now I've created waste. I want you guys to hang with me because I'm going deep into territory with this right here. And the reason why this is important, guys, because it's July 1st. We are officially at the halfway point of the year. The halfway point of the year. And I know a lot of you guys intricately and intimately. I know your goals. I know your dreams. I know what you're chasing. And so again, we're at the halfway point. I want you to measure how you're performing based on where you started January 1st to where we are right now. And so I said earlier, this message is called What's in Your Pantry? Because I was guilty of buying items without knowing what I already was sitting on. And so I remember as a child, getting hungry. And I would say, "Hey, Mom, we hungry." And she'd go, "Boy, we just bought all them groceries. Go in there and make you something to eat." And I would open the doors up and I say, "We ain't got nothing." It would be full. And some of you guys got kids, so you know how your kids are. We just bought $300. You better go in there and find something. We just spent all that money. We're not ordering that. We're not ordering pizza. You better go in there and find something because you got a lot of resources in there to make yourself a meal. And so the question I want to ask you today is what's inside of your pantry? I'm not talking in a physical sense. I'm talking in the success sense. One of the biggest questions I get from folks all the time, they'll ask me, "How did you find your real estate mentor?" And I tell them that with every mentor that I've had, I've known at least 1 year to the date of meeting them, they're going to be my mentor. I knew it. I'd already done my research, already searched them out. I was already doing homework on them to figure out for the goal and the vision for my life, that was the perfect person. And so when I was learning real estate years ago, I knew she was going to be my mentor probably about 3 years in advance, probably 3 years prior. I knew it. And I had to figure out how to just connect with her so I could somehow bridge that gap. And so my opportunity came because she put out an advertisement to everyone in the real estate world that she was looking for an apprentice. And I thought to myself, this is my opportunity. This is my chance to learn everything I need to know about real estate because she's looking for someone to pour herself into. Now, here's the catch, guys. Number one, if I took on this apprenticeship, I was only going to get paid $8 an hour. I was only going to get paid $8 an hour. Let me be crystal clear. You cannot live off $8 an hour. I don't care how resourceful you are. You cannot live off $8 an hour. But I took the position anyway because I knew what the knowledge base would do for me. The second thing is I knew that at $8 an hour, I could get comfortable. See, for some of you right now, and I'm not holding anybody accountable, I'm just going to throw it out there. For some of you, the reason why you're not jumping after your goals and dreams, because right now your place in employment has you at a level of comfortability that you don't have no desire to move and leave. See, at $8 an hour, there was nowhere in the world there was any danger of me ever getting comfortable and staying there for 10 years. It was never going to happen. So when she said $8 an hour, even though it was extremely low, I weighed out $8 an hour versus knowledge. $8 an hour versus knowledge. If it's going to get me the skill set and the mastery I need to go out there and crush it in the real estate world, I can sacrifice the seat in the $8 an hour, because I'm not going to get stuck there, because I can't get comfortable for $8 an hour. Every job I stayed at past my expiration date, I stayed there because they were paying me enough to make me comfortable. For those of you guys that want to dream big and do big things, I promise you, you're not going to get there in the spirit of comfort. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to take a look at where you are right now and be crystal clear about where you're trying to get to and what are the things that are delaying you and slowing you down in this season. Number one, for most of you, it is the job. Some of you guys are working jobs where you are so comfortable you don't want for anything, but you also have no desire to go after your goals and dreams. So at $8 an hour, I was a little bit upset because I know I'm worth more than that, but I took the job because of the knowledge base. I just got through reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And I saw the deal Napoleon Hill made with Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. And this was my Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill moment. And so I jumped on it in a heartbeat because I knew my life would transition and go higher to the next level. So $8 an hour was catch number one. Catch number two, on any real estate deal I found for her that she wanted to buy and hold and turn into rental property, I would get a flat $1,000 fee. Flat $1,000. Number three, on any deal that she decided she wanted to flip, meaning she wanted to flip it or wholesale it, I would get 30% of the sales price. So if she wholesaled a deal for 10 grand, I got 30% of that. If she wholesaled a deal that I found for her for $8,000, I got 30% of it. And so the last part of the deal was the catch. And I'm amazed I'm telling you guys this because I've rarely brought this stuff up. And I tell you this because I want you guys to understand that when you follow someone you feel is successful, it's not important for you to glorify or be stuck in what you see them doing right now. Look at the backlog history where they come from, because you learn more out of someone's back history or backstory than you do from what you see them doing on stage. I want to find your backstory more interesting than your current story, because it lets me know what you had to sacrifice, what you had to give up, and what challenges you went through that you almost threw in the towel. And so the last part of this with her, she said, I have to sign a 2-year non-compete agreement. A 2-year non-compete, which means for 2 years after I left her employment, I could not set up shop and become real estate competition for 2 years and a 25-mile radius of downtown Cincinnati. Now, I know I got folks on here that's not in Cincinnati, but if you do a 25-mile radius check, that is all of Cincinnati. So that means for 2 years, I couldn't get out there and do anything with my accumulated knowledge in my home city. I had to go and shift and work deals outside my home city where everyone in Cincinnati wants Cincinnati deals. And so I took her apprenticeship on, and I did it because I knew the greater good of where I was trying to get to. Side note, number one, if you're taking notes, in order for you to go up, there's things you got to give up. In order for you to go up, there's things you got to be willing to give up. No sacrifice, no surrender. The problem I see with a lot of us is a lot of us don't want to pay the cost to be the boss. If you look at anyone who's been successful, and this is why you got to see the backlog lets you know what they had to sacrifice to get the success story, okay? So the first 30 days was absolutely magnificent. For the first 30 days, I'm side by side with my mentor. I'm out there looking at houses with my mentor. We're in the car together. For those of you guys that have had a mentor relationship, let me tell you something. There is no feeling in the world for a hungry student to be side by side with their mentor in real time. I don't care what anyone says to you. There's no feeling in the world like being side by side with a person pouring wisdom and knowledge into you. There's no feeling like it. And so to be in these nasty, dirty, filthy houses with my mentor, and she's pointing out, Karim, look at that foundation. That's a $20,000 foundation problem. Look at that kitchen, that bathroom. Look at that electrical system. That's old knob and tube that has to be yanked out. In real time, getting this information, it's like watching the original Karate Kid from the 80s. Where Danielson is getting beat up by the bullies, and he becomes a friend of Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi is teaching him karate, but he doesn't even realize it. So he's got Danielson out there painting painting the fence. He's got Danielson out there doing wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. And then there's an apex moment in the relationship where Daniel gets beat up and comes to Mr. Miyagi and says, why won't you teach me? Why won't you teach me? And Mr. Miyagi says, Danielson, wax on, wax off. And he's blocking and don't realize, paint the fence. And you don't realize the whole time, Mr. Miyagi has been teaching me karate. And I didn't realize it. And the moment it sinks in, the relationship changes. And Danielson runs home from school every day. And he's learning and mastering, because there's no feeling in the world like being side by side with your mentor in real time. If you are a success champion, I promise you, doing it by yourself was one thing, but being in the heart and the trenches where you got that mentor over top of your shoulder telling you how to perfect that craft, you can't beat that feeling. Because it's in that moment when you realize, I know I'm going to be successful because I'm sitting here watching in real time. And phone calls don't replace that. Zoom calls don't replace that. It's something about the feeling of being in the here and now. And so for the first 30 days, I'm going to work looking forward to it. We back out in the streets again. We in some of the roughest, toughest neighborhoods, but we cool because we doing the thing. And then 30 days went past and I came into work the second month and I said, we going to go out today? She said, no, you're going to go out by yourself. Okay, all right, I guess you got a busy day. Came in the next day. We're going to go out today? No. From here on out, you're going to be on your own. I taught you everything you need to know. And I had what I call buyer's remorse. Have you ever bought something and you were so entrenched into it that after you made the commitment, you looked at the thing and said, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. This is not what I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought that not only was I going to be in the trenches with you, but because you got 20 years of experience, you were doing real estate. When I graduated high school at 16, you were out there doing deals. So when I came into her around the age of 26, I'm thinking you got all this accumulated wisdom. I'm thinking not only am I going to learn real estate by being in the trenches with you, but I'm going to be sitting down at the table learning all the secrets of how to buy houses, no money down, and buy stuff subject to owner financing and land trust, and how to buy tax liens and how to market to folks in bankruptcy and foreclosure. I thought I was going to be sitting at the table of greatness learning all this stuff, and I didn't realize I went to it thinking I was going to get that, a full, complete mentorship. She was just looking for an employee, and it sounded really cool to say intern. I'm laughing because I hit a low point. I was there in that 60-day time frame thinking, I ain't sat with her. I ain't learned nothing. When they had the important meetings, they would tell me to leave. And I knew knowledge was being passed around, but I wouldn't even invite it to the table. And so by the second month, I was frustrated. By the third month, I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? I ought to quit. For $8 an hour, I ought to quit. I'm worth more than this. And I went to this and I did not get the value I thought I was going to get. And so I was on the verge of quitting. And what I learned, man, is before I make any move based on emotion, to pray on it. Before I make any move based on emotion is to pray on it. So I remember closing my eyes saying, God, you know the goal, you know the dream, you know what I'm going after. And this ain't even it right now. And I'm upset because I've signed my name to a dotted line and I'm trapped at this point in time. Because if I leave, I can't do deals for 2 years. So my situation doesn't improve. And so I just need guidance. I'm ready to go. And I hear this still voice say, Kareem, did you check the pantry? Now pause for a second. I'm in a 3-story apartment, not apartment, a 3-story converted warehouse. Has been converted to an office building. There is no pantry. There is no pantry. What pantry? Sometimes, God can talk to you and you think God been hitting the bottle like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? There is no pantry. He says, have you checked the pantry? I go, there is no pantry. And he asked me one more time, have you checked the pantry? Now, this is what I wasn't paying attention to, guys. When I came aboard to work for her, I also didn't realize that every year she puts on one of the largest, when I say the largest, I mean the largest real estate investor expos. That's what I got to call it an expo. I can't call it a convention or a conference. I say expo in the Midwest, right here in Ohio. And it's usually a 3 or 4 day event. When I say thousands of people from all over the country fly into Ohio for this conference, I mean thousands of people. And if you are a speaker and teacher of real estate, every year your goal is to get on her platform or her stage to get in front of these people to talk about your real estate strategy. And so in order to get on her platform, you just didn't luck up and do it. You would take your course materials, whatever your topic was, and you would send that course to her, and she would read it with a fine-tooth comb, and she would vet it. Because how many of you guys know in the day and age of social media, people can make themselves look more successful than they really are? With trick photography and sound bites, you got people out there claiming to be experts and gurus that only been doing something for like 2 years, 3 years, 60 days, 90 days. And so she wanted to vet before putting them on the stage because she didn't want her potential people to be exposed to some knuckleheads. And so she vet the process, she vet the paperwork, she vet the course material, listened to the audios, watched the DVDs, and she'd either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. She'd either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And based on that, they got onto her platform. Now, when they sent those materials out, think about it like an artist sending in a demo tape to a record studio. They're not going to send you the demo tape back. And so when she got the course materials, she kept the course materials and she put it inside her library. And when I say library, I mean the whole room was covered with nothing but real estate educational materials. Some of these courses cost as little as $500. Some of these courses cost as much as $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And this library is chock full of nothing but real estate education. I mean, easily over $100,000 in just current materials, not the old stuff, current stuff. And so when the Almighty said, have you checked the pantry? He meant, have you looked at where you are right now? You went there thinking you was getting a mentor. For the goals I have lined up for you, this was what I got you here for. So when folks ask me how I mastered real estate, it wasn't exactly through her. She gave me wisdom. But how I mastered real estate was taking those courses home 1 week at a time, studying and mastering everything. Then putting the course back and taking a new one out. And this one here is on how to invest in mobile homes. And this one here is how to invest in apartment buildings. And this one here is how to invest in bankruptcies. And this one here is how to invest in short sales. And this one here is how to invest in tax liens. And this one here is how to wholesale. This one here is how to landlord. This one here is how to rehab. This one here is how to do private financing and find private lenders. It was a warehouse of knowledge and information sitting right in my midst. And I almost missed out on it because I wasn't checking the pantry. Here's the message for everyone on this call today. For the goals and dreams you have lined up to finish out strong in the second half of the year, are you checking the pantry? Have you paid attention to the resources that are sitting right here in your midst? There's something Tony Robbins said when he released this last book I love so much. He said it's not that there is a lack of resources. It's not that. There's a lack of resourcefulness. Meaning many people have access to stuff, but because you have no awareness of what you're going after, the resources right in front of your face, you can't even identify the resources. You don't even know what to do with the resources, and they are the game changer in your season. I had no clue that I was going to have access to this library. Facts about it, when I look at all the deals I've done as a real estate investor, very little of that information came from her. It came from this guru, this guru, this guru, this guru, and I took a bit from him and a bit from him and a bit from him and a bit from him, and I put it all together and I started doing my own thing. So when I finally did leave her employment, I went out there and I crushed it. I crushed it. Facts about it, I was doing my own deals. And those of you guys that have rocked with me for a while, you've seen me put up checks. There's still checks on my Facebook page where I flipped this deal for $18,000, flipped this deal for $30,000, this for $42,000, this for $8,000. I was not only doing my own deals, I was doing deals for other real estate investors who didn't know how to do them. I was doing deals for realtors who didn't know how to do them. I was also teaching people, because here's my belief, guys. When you master something, you should master it at the level that you can turn around and get paid to teach it. You should master it on such a level that you can turn around and get paid to teach it. And we're going to address that today before we wrap this call up. So again, the urgency here is, are you paying attention to what's inside your pantry? Have you taken a look? Because most of us are not paying attention. If you're on the job right now and you know your goal and dream is to be an entrepreneur, have you paid attention to the resources sitting around you? Let me give you another example, because you guys got to catch this. When I started working for this company called Berkeley, I remember I had left my employment at that point in time, and I started working there, and I knew my goal was to be a real estate investor, but I still needed some money to make ends meet. And this is a totally different Facebook message I'm going to cover just on that alone, because I'm talking about the concept of strategy, about how to be strategic to get what you want. And so when I took the position, I told them I want to work third shift. They said, why? Yes, Cindy, the replay will be on here. I'm not going to take the replay down. It'll be on here. I said I want to work third shift, and they said, why? And I said, because I need my mornings open. And I was very vague on that because I knew I couldn't be looking for real estate deals at 9 o'clock at night. So I needed my first shift and second shift hours open. So if someone called me, said I got a house, I could run over there. And so I got hired at this company to work third shift. The problem being was God's favor was on my life, as if God's favor could ever be a problem, right? And God's favor transitioned me from being a call center rep on third shift to being in HR. I never even got on the phones. I never even saw third shift hours. They liked me so well through strategy that they end up saying, we're going to put you in HR. And so I was actually hiring people on behalf of the company. I helped hire close to 800 people for this company. Ain't that wonderful how God works? When you got favor, he'll shift you. And so he shifted me over to HR where I'm hiring people. And then I'm still thinking about this goal and dream in real estate. And I'm going, these hours, make things a little bit complicated. And I decided to trust God where I was at that company. And so from the HR department, they want to shift me over and make me management staff. And the problem was the guy who owned the company said, now, wait a minute, time out. I'm cutting the checks for these people. This dude has been in our employment for about 45 days. You done took him from third shift when he's supposed to be a call rep on the phones and shifted him to HR. And now you want to give him supervisory duties over staffs of 20 to 30 people. He ain't even sold the product. He don't even know what we sell. How are you shifting him? Tell you what, no, we're not going to give him a management position. We'll give him a training position. We'll make him a corporate trainer for the company. He'll be in charge of training folks on phone techniques and saves and sales and customer service. And so I found myself shifted over to the training division. And they paid well. They didn't pay what I had my eyes on for the supervisor position, but they paid slightly under. It was close to $20 an hour. So that was cool with me in that season. And I didn't realize, again, what God was doing was giving me the ability to perfect my gift and talent on their dime and their time. I'm going to say that again. I got to pause. I want you guys to realize this, because some of you guys are on jobs right now. You're not there for the reason you think you are. You're not there for a paycheck. You're not there for a paycheck. You're there to perfect your gift and talent on someone else's dime and someone else's time. And I want you to be clear about this, because when you understand what's in the pantry, the meals you make come out different. When you understand that to make spaghetti, I need the noodles, I need the sauce, I need some salt, I need a little bit of sugar. If you put sugar in your stuff, the way you look at what's in the pantry is different. When you look in the pantry and don't know what you need, you can only make SpaghettiOs. That's all you can do, because that's all you see is a can. But when you realize where you're trying to get to with clarity, you begin to look at that pantry and all the items in that pantry, say, I can take a little of this, I can take a little of this, I can take a little of this, and I can create a success meal. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? Some of y'all getting happy right now because you are totally receiving what I'm saying to you. Matter of fact, do me a favor. I need you to like this message. I need you to share it. I need you to like. I got a smile on my face because, listen, understanding this changed the game. It changed the game. I stopped taking jobs just for paychecks and started taking jobs based on where I was trying to get to. It changed everything. So here I am. Here I am sitting here at this job. I'm the corporate trainer. And let me be upfront with you. When you are doing something like that, that's usually a pretty boring job. I mean, folks look forward to getting off the floor, but they're not trying to pay attention to you. They're not trying to hear you. They got cell phones out. They doing everything. And you got them in this room for 45 minutes to an hour to teach them on how to communicate better over the phone. And so out of all the trainers there, I had to figure out a way to make myself elevate. In other words, how do I make this training exciting and fun? And I got folks wanting to come in there. If any of you guys have ever heard me speak on stage, you know I'm a highly engaging, interactive speaker. I'm not that normal speaker that's going to sit on stage and just preach from the platform. I'm going to walk into the crowd. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to pull you on stage. We're going to have a little laughs. I'll have exercises. You understand that. And I'm going to say this, and I want you to really get this. I didn't learn that technique by being up under Les Brown. I didn't get that from Les. I didn't get that technique from being up under Delatoro McNeil. I didn't get that from him. I got that technique when I was working at that job as a corporate trainer years before I even met Dale or years before I even met Les Brown. This is what I mean by resourcefulness. What's inside your pantry? The Almighty knew my goal was to speak on stage and crush it. So that skill set was mastered, and I had no clue I was ever going to speak on a stage and get paid for it. I had no clue that was going to happen. Here I am just trying to find a way to engage and make it fun. And before I knew it, I came up with a formula to engage the crowd and get the crowd excited to want to come out into the train. Oh, Kareem trained today? Oh, I'm in there today. Not even realizing that years later, he had me on stages doing the same exact thing. This is what I mean by resourcefulness. What's inside your pantry right now? What are you sitting on? Stop looking at a job as just a job. Start looking at a job as a resource based on what you're trying to achieve. Facts about it, if you have a dream and a goal, and you at that job specifically for a paycheck, I want to encourage you to shift your thinking. I ain't telling you to quit. I ain't telling you that. Don't come to me saying I need help with my electric bill this month because you told me to quit. Don't you lie on yourself like that. Shame the devil and set yourself free. What I am saying is this. In this season, it's time for you to be more resourceful than ever about where you have strategically been placed. I went to that job going third shift. To try to sell products on the phone third shift, and ended up in a corporate training position where I got a chance to sharpen my sword. Last week we talked about iron sharpening iron, but rust promotes rust. I'm sitting in an environment where I'm sharpening my sword for an arena that I did not know I was going to walk into. And the Almighty had pre-purposed it and pre-planned it. And the only reason I could receive it because in my spirit I knew I had a desire to teach. I had a desire to speak. Facts about it when I talk about the real estate mentor. You do understand that because she puts on these big conferences every year and she also does real estate boot camps, that without my awareness, that I was by default able to go speak at that event and teach folks how to flip houses and flip short sales, make money. This is a precursor. This is a shadow of things yet to come. Some of the stuff you praying for, the reason why you don't have it yet, because you don't have your resources in order to obtain and hold on to it. What would it do me to get on stage and speak if I haven't mastered the art of communication? If I haven't mastered the art of stage presence? If I don't know how to communicate and connect with my audience? I make it look easy, but guys, I've been in these trenches for a season. I've been here for a while. Where you are right now, what's in your pantry? I'm going to segue over to the story of Joseph, because Joseph's story is one of the most powerful ones in Scripture. You understand that the story of Joseph ends with Joseph being second under Pharaoh. Second under Pharaoh. That means he has the ability of Pharaoh. He's just second in command. But in order for you to be second over all of Egypt, number one, you have to have leadership skills, right? I mean, you can't run no... Let me not say that. I'm going to make some of my political affiliation fans mad, because I know I got some Republicans and some Democrats, and I could take a real bad jab, and I don't want to lose y'all. I love y'all. I'm gonna leave the presidential part alone, but you can't be second over all of Egypt and not have leadership skills. How can you run a country as second in command and you don't know how to lead? Think about this. You can't run a country if you don't know how to speak the language. So if we look at the story of Joseph, right? Watch this. We look at the story of Joseph. It said Joseph was his father's favorite. While all his siblings worked out in the field, Joseph was a scholar. He never got a chance to walk out in the field. And his brothers hated him because of that, because he was the scholar. His dad gave him the coat of many colors. He was the favorite. Dad was teaching him Egyptian, not knowing that eventually he'd be second over all of Egypt. So let me give you a side note, and this is for a different message, but Spirit's hit me with it, so I got to be respectful of the Spirit. Side note for all my gifted individuals out there. Joseph's brothers did not want to kill him. They originally just hated him. The moment Joseph used his gift and interpreted dream, then they wanted to kill him. The moment he said, I had a dream and y'all gonna bow down to me and I'm gonna be here and you're gonna be here, it went from hate to we want you dead. Why am I saying that? Because some of you guys got to be very cognizant of who you use your gift around. Right now, some of you guys got haters around you, and they already disliking the favor of God on your life. You got to be real careful who you use your gift around in this season, because they can go from dislike to I want you gone. This is how people get fired from jobs and set up. And I ain't even do anything because you using your gift around the wrong people. You got to be very, very careful. Listen, I've learned it firsthand. There are some people that can't handle your giftedness. You have to be careful around them or you will cut your own throat. They did not want that man dead until he gave that dream interpretation. And that was his gift. Think about it. His gift was the thing that caught Pharaoh's attention that made him second over all of Egypt. There's a time to walk in your gift and there's a time to be coy. You have to know the difference between the two. So let's jump back to what I'm getting at here with the story of Joseph and how this ties into resourcefulness and what's inside your pantry, because y'all got me going. Y'all got me this unloading on y'all. So watch this. I told you earlier, you can't be second over all of Egypt unless you know the lingo. You know how to read and write Egyptian. Well, his father was teaching him that while his brother was out in the field. So when he got sold into slavery, guess what? He landed at home at new home turf, already being familiar with how to speak and how to handle himself. Can't be second over all of Egypt without the resource of knowing how to communicate the language. And so he gets sold into Potiphar's house as a lowly slave and servant, and he rises to become Potiphar's favorite. And so before you know it, Potiphar gives him charge over the entire house. He's running everything. Everybody is answering to him. Now you see him developing leadership skills, because you can't run a country unless you know how to lead other people. He gets lied upon by Potiphar's wife. He gets thrown into prison. And there he becomes a humble servant. You can't run something. There's a level of blessing that can only be maintained through a humble, humilitized spirit. I've seen some folks with egos that'll stop a clock. And I'm going to tell you, that ego will take you so far before it shuts you down. You must have a spirit of humility about you. You must be humble. And so he interprets the guy's dream in prison. And the guy gets out and he tells him that, man, I'm going to tell Pharaoh about you. I'm going to remind Pharaoh that you're here. And years go past and Joseph thinks the guy forgot about him. And all of a sudden Pharaoh has the dream that he can't understand with the skinny cows and the fat cows and the stalks and the beat up stalks. And he says, man, I know a guy that can interpret this, and puts him before Pharaoh. And so we see Joseph walk out his gift. The same gift that got him thrown into slavery by his brothers, he used the gift in the right place and right place and rises to power. I had a conversation with Les about this. I said one of my favorite scriptures in the book of life is your gifts will make room for you and put you before powerful people. Your gifts will make room for you and put you before powerful people, meaning there's some doors of opportunity you don't have access to till you identify your God-given gift and talent, okay? And that's a total different, I could be talking about that for an hour, so we're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave that in the bucket. We'll pick that up at a later date, later time. But understand, when he got appointed to that position, he could not be appointed to that position to hold it down unless he knew leadership, unless he knew how to talk the dialect, unless he had a humble spirit. Because understand that when you get blessed, and I see a lot of people struggling with this right now, when God puts you in your wealthy place, he's not going to put you there so you can become the bully and have open season and payback on every person who's done you wrong. The trivial part of the Joseph story, and this is so powerful, the trivial part of the Joseph story is when Joseph comes face to face with his brothers. And he recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. Here's a side note. When God transforms you and puts you where you're supposed to be, your enemies won't even recognize you. Woo! Did I just say that? Hold on. We got to take a station identification break. Hold on. When you get put into your rightful place, your enemies won't even recognize you. He will transform you on such a level, they won't even know who you are. They can't even resonate with the flow, the energy, the vibe. And so he recognizes them, and this is a chance for payback. Because you cost me a relationship with my father. Let's be real. There were 7 years of famine and 7 years. There were 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty. So we know that's 14 years right there. And if you've been in jail for several years, and then we slap on the time in Potiphar's house, I'm going to say you probably was locked up somewhere between 20 to 30 years. Come on now. If someone lied on you and took you out your house for 20 to 30 years, you come face to face with them, most of y'all know, yep, take the earrings out. We got work to do. This man had the power to say, kill them immediately for what you did to me. And this is what's so powerful. He chooses to go the opposite route because he understood two things. Number one, what his enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. Meaning I couldn't be in this position and place where I was able to save all of our people. Because being in this position, I can do that. That's number one. But number two, God's judging my character. He's judging my character. And I don't even know why I'm going here with this, because this wasn't even part of the scheduled plan. I just go with the flow. For some of you who have been through hell and back, some of you guys have been lied upon, been cheated upon, have been abused and used. God is not going to point you to greatness for you to say it's open season. It's time for me to get you back. God is interested in your character. The moment I began to forgive people that did me wrong, doors start open. Listen, I'm trying to tell you something. The moment I start forgiving people that did me wrong, people that really did not deserve it, people who did things to me that was unmentionable, and I had to find it in my spirit to forgive them, doors started opening. Recognition went out. Stages and platforms started saying, we want you, we want you, we want you. Deals started flowing and closing, and money started coming in, and the favor of God flew unmeritoriously on my life. I don't know who this is for, but you got to forgive, because if you tie somebody up, you're blocking your own blessing. It's all about character. At the end of the day, God wants to know how faithful are you with what I'm going to give to you. If you're going to use it as a tool to be Johnny Payback, I'm gonna get even with you. I can't trust you with what you have, so I can't bless you with more. So we're gonna leave that down. We're gonna put that down, because I can go on that and we can stay on that all day. And I got to get you guys off this call. I cannot keep you all day long. So the message is, what's in your pantry? What are you sitting on right now that is the resource designed to help you in this season? Most people fail not because that they don't have the wherewithal. They don't understand that the resources they're looking for don't look common enough to them. When I was with my real estate mentor, I didn't realize the resource I needed was the access to the real estate library, all this literature, all this information sitting right at my fingertips that was designed to make me dominant in the real estate field. Okay. When I worked at the job at that point, that was paying me like $18 an hour, I never realized the coaching and the training I was doing in that season was going to be multi-purpose and used when I get on stage and crush stages across this country. I had no clue about it. All right. So I got a couple things wrote down, because some of this is motivation, inspiration. Some of this is teaching. So let's talk about resources real quick before I wrap you guys up and let you guys go. Let's talk about resources. What are some of the resources you need to be paying attention to in this season? What are some of the resources you need to be paying attention to in this season? What I look at is this. Resources are usually internal or external. Resources are usually internal or external. I had a meeting with a good friend of mine from the Young Professionals. I was real cool with the brother when I was at the YP. When I got shot, we kind of fell out of touch, and we had a conversation because he's going into a different direction with a goal and dream. And I said the same thing to him. You got to start looking at your resources, because you have a lot of resources around you that are going to be used to help build what it is that you want, but you got to be cognizant of it. Okay. And a lot of times these resources are not readily identifiable. That's why it's so important that you are crystal clear on the goal you're going after. The more clear you are about what you want, the easier it is for you to identify it when it pops up. Okay. So for me personally, some of the resources, number one, what is your God-given gift and talent? What is your God-given gift and talent? I'm a gifted communicator. I've been running my mouth since I came out the womb. My senior year, I was voted most talkative. I can talk anybody up a tree and down a tree. I can sell water to a well. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. When I look at my real estate deals, you understand that I was putting deals on contract without ever meeting the person face to face. I was such a gifted communicator. I was doing it over the phone. Okay. So number one, what are you sitting on right now? What's the gift and talent the Almighty has put inside of you that's designed to help you take it up a level and crush it? For those of you guys that heard me speak, you already know my favorite animal is a cheetah. Cheetahs are designed to run 70 miles per hour. That 70 mile per hour speed is a gift. No other animal out there in the wild can run 70 miles per hour but a cheetah. Facts about it, if you saw a full-grown elephant running 70 miles per hour, it'll freak the living freak out of you. You'd be crazy. Like, look at this big dude running 70 miles per hour. An elephant is the only thing that runs 70 miles per hour, and it knows how to use its gift and talent on instinct. It uses gift and talent to catch its meal. It uses gift and talent to avoid other predators that can cause it harm or kill it. There's no confusion on how to use the gift. What are you gifted with right now? What are you sitting on? Are you a gifted communicator? Do you have artistic flair? Are you a natural born leader? What are you sitting on right now that God has given to you that is a resource that's sitting inside your pantry, that's sitting on the shelf collecting dust because you haven't looked to see what you're sitting on? resource-wise. All right? What's your gift? The next thing is, what's your expertise? Guys, I'm a gifted communicator. I came out the womb able to run my mouth. I tell people all the time I have 3 gifts that I operate out of on a regular basis. I'm a gifted communicator. I am extra creative. I'm super creative. If you like the memes, if you guys have heard me speak, my job is to take a topic and tie it to something very commonplace that you can't forget it. You can't forget it. It's no different than me talking about pantry versus resources. When I talk about pantry, what's in your pantry, what's inside, what's on your shelves right now, what are you sitting on that's going to waste because you haven't identified them, okay? So I've always been super creative. I've always been the creative person, the creative storyteller. I've always been creative on how to solve problems. That's a gift. I'd be a fool not to use that gift when going after goals and dreams. And then the third gift I have is the ability to implement, understand information very, very quickly. I skipped a grade. I went from kindergarten to 2nd grade, so I skipped 1st grade. That means I have the ability to master information very quickly. I have a very fast learning curve. But I can talk about something that I learned literally a week before, and I'll have you believing I've done it for 15 years. That's a skill set. That's a gift. That's a talent. And so when I say gifts and talents, everyone on this call has more than one gift. There's something you sitting on that makes you a dominant alpha in life's chase. The issue being is that you identified it, mastered it, put it in the right environment, and most importantly, controlled that gift. And again, that's a totally different message we'll bring up at a later date. But I also want to talk about expertise. I was born a communicator. I've always been able to run my mouth, but I didn't come out the womb knowing real estate investing. That was something I mastered over time. Some of you guys are experts right now at what you do. You have been getting paid to perform a task on someone else's dime and someone else's time, and you don't realize that when you come to the full realization that that expertise is sitting inside your pantry and you decide to yank it off the shelf and put it down and cook that meal, you go from getting paid $20 an hour to $200 an hour, $20 an hour to $500 an hour. I told you guys previously about a guy that I got out of foreclosure, and his expertise was creating logos. But his job was only paying him this, and they would take his logo that he designed and they would sell it and they would get paid this. They were selling these logos between, depending on the organization, $2,000 to sometimes close to $10,000. And I go, you don't see a problem with this? Here you are about to lose your house, and if you jump into the driver's seat of your expertise, your gift, and your talent, you command that payday. I'm going to pause for a second because some of you guys is guilty of this right now. And in your spirit, you know it. I'm just confirming what you already know in the here and now. Some of you guys have mastered the expertise in the tech field, the internet. You know, you have weird, goofy stuff going on that you have mastered, that if you will put that off the shelf of your pantry and put it in the pot and cook up something, you dominating in this season. You dominate in this season. I could be a licensed realtor. I have my license as a realtor. I make more money doing what I use my license for. I much respect to all my realtors out there. I never want to disrespect anybody. But when it came to my goals and dreams, understand something, this is all strategy. In order for me to be able to pick up and speak across the globe as a speaker, there is no 9-to-5 job I can hold that's going to let me do that. It's not going to happen. There's not enough PTO in the world. So when I have to strategize about how do I get this dream off the ground, you want to have income that's not locked in where someone says you got to be here 8 hours a day. Which is why I gravitated towards real estate. Real estate gave me the means, scrape the nest egg to pay off all the debt to be able to chase my goals and dreams at light speed. So when I was out there with my peers, the reason I passed my peers up because I don't have the restrictions as everybody else. So when we talk about strategy, that's a totally different topic. Y'all mind gonna go boom. When I get a chance to talk about how we did this, your mind is going to go, wow. When I talk about how I got Les Brown to be that mentor, your mind going to go, wow, like what in the world has this dude done? And here's the thing. God is no respecter of persons, meaning if I did it, you can do it too. There's no more favor over my life than yours. It's just that I took very careful care to take a look at what was inside my pantry. I began to select things off the shelf to build the meal that I was trying to eat. I was very, very clear about it. There were no mistakes on it. I was very, very clear about it, okay? So gift and talents, expertise, those are resources that you want to use to get towards your goals and dream versus them kind of anchoring you where you are. The second thing is, and I can't say this enough, mentor. For whatever goal you're going after. First, set the vision. Spirit, the book of life says, write the vision and make it plain, meaning there must be a level of clarity about what it is you're trying to do. Write the vision. Know where you're going. The second order of business is find the mentor. Find the mentor. When I wanted to create my online business selling vintage toys, I found the mentor. It cut down my learning curves. I wasn't trying to learn a bunch of goobly goop in real time. When I decided to jump into real estate, you notice I told you I found the real estate mentor. She was not the first person I attached myself to. I went through about 3 or 4 people before finding her. Okay. When I decided to speak, I found the speaking mentor. I found Delatoro McNeil. I found Les Brown, because mentors are the game changer. Let me be clear about this. Your goal and dream is mirrored in time. Time is going to run out whether you decide to participate or not. And so you want to get your goals and dreams out before your timer goes off. Mentors will take their accumulated wisdom and knowledge and pour them into your cup. And so you now know what they've learned for 20, 30, 40, 50 years of their life. So if you've learned what someone has taken 50 years to accumulate in real time, do you think you can get to your goals quicker and faster? I'm just asking you. I'm just being real with you. For those of my guys that grew up playing Nintendo back in the day, if we wanted to beat a game and we didn't know the secrets, we'd go buy the little game magazines that showed us all the cheat codes. And facts about it, we was cheap. We would go in with an ink pen and we'd write the cheat codes down on our hand until Kroger's figured out what we was doing. We was never going to buy a magazine. They kicked us out like, you kids, get out of here. But we would find the cheat code to get to the finish line quicker and faster. Mentors are that cheat code. Mentors are that warp zone. If you don't have a mentor based on what you want to do, I don't care if you want to open a pizzeria. I don't care if you want to open up a hair salon. If you don't find someone who's been there, done that, can take the accumulated wisdom and pour it into your cup, you, my friend, are wasting a very valuable resource. I promise you. I promise you, with every venture, I've always looked for the mentor after I got clarity on what it is I'm trying to do. So that's a resource. I'm going to say blueprint. Because one of the things that was beneficial about being under my real estate mentor, I had a limited vision till I got up under her, and then I saw a blueprint of how the business should be. Okay? When we talk about Les Brown is an excellent mentor in regards to speaking and teaching and training. But you guys realize I was speaking for about 10 years before I came into that season with Les, the season I'm in now. I was speaking before that. So he's been able to tweak some stuff and say, man, listen, if I was you, I would say it this way. I deliver it this way. This has more impact than this. And I go, I ain't see that. Wow. But you've been in business for several years. You're global. You're not local. You're not national. You're global. You've built a business around this. You understand what I'm saying? There are some folks that are around you right now, and the resource is to give you the blueprint. Okay, to give you the blueprint. And so I want you to be cognizant, because some of you guys are at jobs that are giving you the blueprint and you're just not paying attention. You showing up every day clocking in, telling me what we doing for lunch, and God is saying, I'm giving you the blueprint every day. You showing up and you working the blueprint. Now here's a catch. This is something I said to my younger brother, and this is something I said to the young man I met today, and this is something I said to my daughter. Your job is not to reinvent the wheel. I know we run a little bit late. Hang with me. I'm going somewhere with this. Your job is not to reinvent the wheel. It's not to do that. Listen, scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. So everything that is here has always been here. Your job is not to reinvent the wheel. Your job is to look at the wheel and say, man, that wheel works pretty good, but how do I redesign the tread that goes on that tire so it drives faster, lasts longer, and doesn't wear out as quick? Too many guys are trying to reinvent the wheel instead of reinventing the tire that goes on the wheel. It's funny because they got tires right now that are puncture proof. I can run over a 6-inch nail and my tire don't burst. You know, about 10 years ago, if you rolled over that nail, it's a game changer. That tire, you ride with the boom, the boom, the boom, the boom, the boom. And this stage of the game, they got tires that are literally puncture proof. Come on now. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They redesigned the tire that goes on the wheel. I'm trying to tell you, listen, I just gave you $5,000 worth of game for nothing. I'm being real with you. If you got that one piece, it will change your direction on what you're doing in this season. I told my daughter the same exact thing. Don't reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already, there's always been artists. Look at artistry and then redesign the tire that goes on it. Do something different that stands out, that gets you recognized, gets you noticed, and gets you, most importantly, paid. Okay? Paid, all right? Some of you guys that are doing multi-level marketing, don't reinvent the wheel. How do you make the tire perform better? How do you make the tire perform better? How do you put a better tread on that tire so it lasts longer, goes farther, and can give you better results? Listen. I could turn the camera off at this point and go to bed and know I just gave you game right there for free. If you don't recognize that one, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just being, I got a smile on my face because I love it. 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 So listen, watch this. All right. So the blueprint. Some of you guys are in environments right now where God is giving you the blueprint. When I was up under my real estate mentor, I saw how her business worked, and my creative mindset said, but if you do this and do this and do this, you get a better performance, you make more money, you save more time, you get more value, you get more costs. And here's the problem, and I want to be clear on this to you guys. Never be so full of success that when God gives you a great idea that you don't receive it because you don't value the person it comes from. I had tons of game-changing ideas that took that business to the next level. But because when I came in as a student and she was mentor, she never received my information because I wasn't on her playing field. The only people I saw that can give her idea and she'd rock with it was folks who was on the same playing field as her. And I said, well, if you ain't going to take those goodies, I'll take those goodies and use them in my own business. Never be so successful that you don't pay attention to where stuff is being delivered at. Oftentimes, God will give you nuggets of greatness, but because the nugget of greatness don't come the way you think it is, your mindset is rejected. If you give me anything, I'm still going to listen to you. I don't care what level you're on, I'm going to listen to you because I got to hear you out. Because you may be able to give me something to take me to the next level, and I'm not cognizant of it. Only because if I'm so high up here about my success that I'll look down on you and think that you're not on my level, so I'm not listening to you, okay? All right, so that's a side note. Finances. I don't preach get money, get money, get money. I don't preach that. But I understand Scripture says money answereth all things. I'm not telling you to make your journey about getting paid, but I understand something. If I don't have money, I can't flush my toilet. I've been broke enough to try. I've been broke enough to try when that water bill got turned off and I ain't had no money to try to flush that toilet. This whole upstairs level be stinking. I'm keeping it real with you right now. Money answereth all things. Money is a tool. It is a resource. Facts about it, it's one of the most powerful resources in going after your goals and dreams. So at some point in time, you will need money to do that. Whether that's your money or someone else's money. You're going to need money at some stage of the game to get to the next level. I did not get here on hope and a prayer. When I started the eBay business years ago, it wasn't for me to go out there and buy a bunch of flashy stuff. I worked my 9-to-5 job, and the 9-to-5 job paid the bills. The money from my eBay sales was stockpiled, looking for the investment I can put it into that was going to get me out of the 9-to-5 job. It's got to pause. When the income tax check came back for $3-4 grand, we ain't go out and buy the big screen TV. We ain't buy the new car. It went into the pot looking for the thing I can invest in that's going to give me a rate of return to get me out of the 9-to-5 job. Then I can go buy the Porsches and all that other stuff. The house was paid off free and clear. Let me get out first and then turn back around and fill my household with the things that I love to get. You have to do it in order. You have to do it in order. That's what I mean by strategy. So we're going to do a whole different Facebook Live just on strategy, guys. We're going to do something totally different just on strategy, but you got to be strategic about it. You can't just jump out there and think it's going to happen. So money will be a resource that should be in your pantry. Either you should be accumulating it because you got a side hustle, meaning I work my 9-to-5 job. I had eBay money coming in. Okay. I speak on stage. I still do real estate. I don't post it as much, but I still flip deals. I still do deals. I still get money off of real estate, meaning that money is a tool. Tools are used to build things. Miles Monroe says something, God bless his soul, that was so powerful I did a speech off of it. If you don't know the reason for a thing, there's a 90% chance you'll end up abusing it. Meaning until I got clear about what God gave me money for, which was for kingdom use, building the kingdom, building the empire, building the stuff that God has assigned me to do, I was spending money on anything and everything that had nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? So once I understand the reason for the money, that money spend different. That money get used different. That money buys things differently. Because you understand, this is part of the stuff that's inside my cupboard. I got a make-believe cupboard. That's inside my pantry that I'm putting down to make this success meal that's so delicious, all right? So when I say finances, meaning your money, or right now, there's possibly someone around you that has access to a lot of money, that if you have the right idea, they'd be willing to invest in it. We're talking about something totally different here. You understand, in real estate, you get rich off of OPM, other people's money. That means it's not your job to use your money to buy deals. You find someone else who has a lot of money and say, man, I'll give you an 8% rate of return on your money. It's better than the bank. The bank only give you 2-3%. other people's money. When you see people go on the TV show Shark Tank, they're trying to use other people's money. That is a resource. So who are you sitting on right now that got access to cash? That may be able to say, man, you got a solid business plan. You got a great mindset. I see you done your due diligence. I may be willing to invest in you for a rate of return or a piece of the pie. All right. And then one last one. Well, actually, I can't really say last one because I kind of tied them together. I had finances and money as being two separate things, but I can't really. Forgive me, guys. I got one piece of technology about to go dead on me, so we're trying to save the day. So I can't really separate those two because I gave them to you guys together. And really, that list can go longer than that. That list can go longer than that. But in lieu of time, because I kept you guys way longer than I really wanted to, we've been on here for an hour. Don't seem like an hour, though, do it? When you talking about good stuff, time flies past. But so these are some of the things that should be in your pantry that you should be looking out for every day. Every day should be an expectation, looking around for these items, your gifts, your talents, your time, your expertise, the mentor, the blueprint or the plan of the money. You should be looking around for these things because that's how you're going to get it done in season 2 of this year. Okay. One last thing before you open up for Q&A. And guys, do me a huge favor because this is so powerful and this is so revolutionary. I need you to like this message and I need you to share it. Listen, if you don't share nothing else this week, come on, help me out. You got to like this and you got to share it. You got to have a smile on your face right now. I got a smile on my face. I can see my smile on the camera because I've been wanting to give birth to this message all week. And let me be clear with you because I got a keynote speech I give off this. And I say that when you are pregnant with something and you ready to give birth, the labor pains come and that's a signal you better give birth. And so y'all don't know, but all week I've been having just all types of goofy stuff go wrong. I kick butt presentation. We kick butt presentation with Ford, but all week I've been coming under attack by this little small minuscule stuff, and it didn't make any sense. And God said, because you about to give birth to something. When the contractions get heavier and the pain begins to get at you, you about to give birth. And so I knew this message had to come out. I knew it. It took everything in my spirit not to go live yesterday because I'm like, come on, let me just push. Let me just push and get it out there because they got to hear it. So I'm finally able to deliver. So I'm happy about that. One last thing, guys. One last thing before you open up for Q&A. And please, please, please share this message. And a matter of fact, tag 3 people that you know need to hear this. Tag 3 people. But watch this. I told you guys I'm guilty of doing what my mother does. I'm guilty of going to the grocery store without a list and just grabbing stuff and getting home and going, oh my God, you got this stuff already here. You just bought, we wasted money. You bought all the stuff you already got. And so let me explain something to you. This is why it's so important for you to understand what's inside your pantry on a regular basis. Because when you don't know what you're sitting on, you create waste. And this is so deep. Don't let me lose you here. I'm going to show you. I'm getting ready to show you all this stuff that I'm getting ready to throw out. And I know I can't catch all this on camera, but these are all just canned goods. This ain't even stuff that's been tucked into the refrigerator. These are all canned goods that I'm going to end up throwing away because, and I mean, listen. Oh, I love it when he gives me the ability to do this stuff. You just don't know. As a speaker, we love moments like this because I want to illustrate stuff in such a way that I know when I let you go, you got the message, all right? You've received the message. These things stack from the tabletop to here. So let's move some of this stuff so I don't drop a can on my foot and be in pain all week. This has an expiration date of September 2017. This has an expiration date of October 12th, 2016. This has an expiration date of March 3rd, 2015. We're knocking the camera around. And all this stuff is expired. Nope, you can't donate it, Charlene. You can't donate it. It's expired. It ain't no good. You can't donate it. They have sat inside my pantry for so long because I wasn't aware of what resources in there that they expired. That means that they are totally wasted. I can't give them away. I can't cook anything with them. If I try to eat off of them, I'll get sick, probably even die from eating them because they're so old. Look at all this. This is easily about, because you can't see all the stuff at the bottom, this is easily close to just $100, if not a little bit more, of nothing but canned goods and foods that went to waste because I didn't do due diligence of looking inside my pantry on a regular basis to see what was in there. Why is this so important? Tony Robbins said it's not a lack of resources, it's lack of resourcefulness. But I want you to understand something very, very clear. I'm being very clear with you. I'm going to have an apparent moment with you. The resources that you're looking at right now, they have an expiration date. They're not there to last forever. They have an expiration date. When I started that job for my real estate mentor, my goal was to stay there for 2 years, learn, and get out. What if she got hit by, heaven forbid, a bus, or she decided to relocate across the country? That library, I don't have access to that no more. You see what I'm saying to you? Some of you guys are inside these jobs for a paycheck playing around, and you don't realize the resource designed to get you to the next level is sitting right there, but you're not supposed to be there for a lifetime. You're there for a season to get what you're supposed to get and get out. When I went to that job that taught me how to be a corporate trainer, I had no desire to stay there for 10, 15, 20 years. And what I didn't know was the owner of the company, watch this, the owner of the company was involved in illegal activity. And so he just got out of jail. He'd been locked up for over 10 years. Him and all his upper management just got out of jail for some of this shit. Look, he had the FBI after him, the postal inspector after him. He was doing money laundering. He was doing all types of crazy stuff. And so the job laid off 800 people. All those folks I helped hire, I had to sit there and give words of encouragement in the parking lot. It was a crime because they lost their job. I sat there doing resumes for some of these folks that had never done resumes before just to make sure they landed on their feet. What if I didn't take advantage of that training position, knowing that was going to be my best opportunity to master the skill set of communication, teaching other people on someone else's dime and someone else's time, and I didn't realize God had an intended expiration date on it. Some of you guys are playing around with your resource thinking it's going to be there forever, and I'm telling you, nothing lasts forever. Nothing does. When I had the opportunity to be taught by Les Brown, I moved on it because nothing lasts forever. He could relocate out of the country for all I know, and I'd have limited access to him. You see what I'm saying? When I had access to him at Ground Zero, he was in Cleveland, I was in Cincinnati. It was nothing but a drive. But he relocated to Atlanta. That's a little bit of a further drive to get a hold of him. So we can talk, we can FaceTime, we can chat. But I don't have that driving distance. Nothing lasts forever. Every resource, whether it's access to money, whether it's access to finances, the blueprint, the mentor, the gift, the talent, the expertise, everything has an expiration date. Facts about it, let's be real. You, my friend, you got an expiration date. You're not going to be here forever, which means in this season, it's more important than ever that you do the things you need to do before your time runs out. Because once it's expired, you can't do anything with it. Guys, listen, if this message has blessed you in any way, shape, or form, I need you to do a couple things for me. Number one, if I'm not connected with you on social media, you already know what you got to do, right? You got to send me a friend request. I'm being clear. In this season, I have been evicting folks that are taking up room. So I got a lot of people who's on my Facebook for the wrong reason. I have been shifting them out. But thanks to my message last week, the floodgate has come open. So I cannot fit you on this page. Also follow me on my professional page, Karim R. Ellis professional page as well. So number one, connect with me on social media. Number two, I need you to like this message and share it. This is way too powerful to be bottled up for just the few people I got on here right now. This is a message that a lot of people need to hear in the present day, in the present season, because we have big things to do. Number three. What's number three? Oh, number three. If we are doing a new thing with my brand, and so I want to keep in touch with some of you guys directly through text message. And so I have a new text campaign going on where I'm going to send you motivational concepts and things like that just to keep you inspired throughout the course of the day. So do me a favor, when you're going to get a free moment, send a text to Karim, Karim, at 26786. This is so new, I don't have it memorized. I'm trying to cheat and look. 26786, and I'll put the text number on the actual comment thing. When I'm on the actual Facebook Live comment thing when we finish up. And then last but not least, let's jump into a little bit of Q&A, guys. So take a look at some of the comments, see what we got down here. If you got a question, do me a favor, throw it in now. I'm sitting underneath these daggone studio lights, so I am sweating. Plus, you know, when I get into this mode, you know, I start getting hot. You know, that's it, 26786. It's just part of the thing, guys. When I get to going and I get to going, you see me on stage, that's what comes, because that's that passion coming out. I can't wait to do it. I get happy about it. So let's take a look here and see what we got going on here before I let you guys go. This is an awesome word to start off your week, and I'm glad you guys hung with me for this hour. I didn't intend for it to be an hour, so I'm definitely glad you guys hung out. So let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, Trayvon says, good evening from Chicago. I want to link up so we can do some lease option deals together. Trayvon, do me a favor, man. Send me a message in my inbox, okay? If it's real estate related. Let me get some of these cans out the way. If I drop a can on my ankle and be all bitter and sore for the next 24 hours, it's a lot of cans. This is a lot of waste. If my mother had done this with my father, would have went through the roof. Like, what are you doing? Why is all that food? Should have went through the roof on it. Or he would have went through the roof on it. But this is a lot of waste. Isn't that powerful? Think about how much waste because the date ran out. The date ran out. Here's a word of encouragement. Go through your cabinets and take a look and see what's no longer valuable to you. And understand the magnitude of how that transfers over to your current situation about how many things you may be wasting right now because you just ain't paying attention to it being there, okay? I think about when I got shot back in 2015. What happened if I got shot back in 2015 and I didn't make the moves I need to make prior to that and my time ran out? You see what I'm saying? There's so many different ways our lives can play out, so we must be able to take advantage of things in the here and now in the real time. All right, so also, guys, if I'm not connected with you on Instagram, do me a favor. Reach out to me on Instagram. It's Karim Ellis1. Karim Ellis1. All right, so we got my girl Pam Brown on here, Charlene Riley. My man Vincent Johnson's on here. He said the dishes. I didn't like the dishes either. There was nothing worse than sticking your hand in that nasty dishwater and grabbing dishes and not knowing what you were squeezing on under that murky brown dark water that used to stink. All right, French Netta said cleaning my bedroom closet. I was pretty good with the closet. I didn't really keep too bad of a closet. Classy said she hated gardening. Charlene said laundry. Pam said the dishes and hanging laundry out in laundry line. I'm from the South. Yeah, I understand that. All right. So going through this. Got Sonia Coleman Cargill on here. Got my girl Gail Ingram on here. Gail, how's it going? And guys, I'm not ignoring you. I'm cheating. I'm doing two things at once, so that way I ain't got to keep touching the screen and rolling up. Yes, Kareem Ellis1, thank you. All right, so Gail said, love my coupons. Pam says, not to mention the lines at the checkout. All the women wrote checks in line we never got at the store. Y'all remember the days of that when everyone wrote checks for everything? And the worst thing you could do was bounce a check because they had that wall of shame where your mama's name would be up there with that bounced check. And the worst thing that could happen is your friends at school see that check with your people's name on it because you knew you was getting capped on all day long. Your parents deadbeat. They going up into the 7-Eleven bouncing checks. Woo! I remember that. Oh, okay. So Della Toro's on here. Okay, so guys, so listen. This is a shout out and a plug. For those of you guys that want to go deeper just into this concept about how to master what you want to do on your job's diamond time. Della Toro McNeil put out this awesome kick butt book called Caught Between a Dream and a Job. How to Escape the 9-to-5 is called Caught Between a Dream and a Job. If you were trying to transition from the workplace to doing your own thing, this is recommended reading, okay? Powerful book. It was also one of the ways I knew my standpoint with him. So powerful book. So for those guys that are stuck in the 9-to-5 and trying to transition out, I do have coaching materials and things like that. This will be made available very shortly. But if you need a recommended read, I would suggest you read Caught Between a Dream and a Job by Della Toro L. McNeil. Okay, powerful read. And it teaches you to be very resourceful. And here's the thing. I was putting that stuff into play before I even read the book. I was moving by strategy, guys. So I want to do a Facebook Live and I talk about strategy, meaning what's your blueprint, what's your game plan. When you play football, you go in the huddle to come up with a plan of action. You just not. But let me tell you this way: when we play football as kids, not for like a team, just street football, we ain't have no plan. Every play was audible. But when you play for a football squad for like a high school or a college or the pros, ain't no audibles. You coming out there with a specific play you fixing to run. We're going to talk about the specific play you run to get the results you want, okay? All right, Carrie's on here from my Magnabilities family. Definitely looking forward to July. The conference is coming, the 19th and 20th. I'm happy about the conference. All right, Tracy's on here. Tracy, I've been watching. You've been doing big things. I'm so proud of you. Maurice Pleasant. All right, my brother Freckleton. Hey, brother, your Jamaican mentee is here. I'm glad to see you on here. All right. Vincent, did you say mitochondria? You using school terms I ain't heard since like science class, man. It's amazing how many things we learn in school that we never ever use again once we hit like adult life. And I laugh and think, man, y'all taught me all this stuff, and it would only make me rich if I was a contestant on Jeopardy. It was the Daily Double, you know. All right, so my brother Al Riddick is on here. Al, a powerful game changer. If you guys are looking at how to take your financing to the next level, understand how to master debt, I need you to follow Al Riddick. Brother's powerful. All right, so scrolling through here, Patricia says, amen, easy to get caught up. Amanda said, this is awesome. We got down here, knowledge is priceless. Say that backstory. In order for you to go up, there's things you have to give up. Yes. Understand that what you wants you, but it comes with a cost and a sacrifice. And I'll be clear, I make it look easy because I don't oftentimes talk about what I had to give up in order to go up. But let me tell you something right now. It's a heavy price. It's a heavy price. If you want that next level of success, there are things you have to give up. There's people you're going to have to walk away from. There's things you can't partake in. There's ways you can't spend your money that you want to spend your money. It does come with the cost. Don't be fooled by people that are successful that show you the glamour, but don't show you the grime, okay? There's grime there. It's just a lot of us don't talk about it. So I'm being more open with my story because for me to duplicate excellence in you, I got to be transparent. I can't let you going out here thinking that the world is sunshine and rainbows and not let you know that the moment you get serious about your serious, the enemy's sitting there with a can of soup ready to knock your head off. Like, we can't let you get serious about your serious because when you step into your place, you affect millions of people for the better, okay? All right. So Shania says, my grandmother said that all my life growing up, you have to pay the cost to be the boss. I'm so sincere about that. Lionel says, I was just thinking about that while washing my car, wax on, wax off. Ain't amazing? He had no clue that Mr. Miyagi was teaching him Kung Fu. You know, and that's the thing, guys, where you are right now, what you're learning, what you're doing every day, because some of you guys are becoming an expert on the job's dime and time. That expertise level is designed to take you someplace. And the moment that clarity happens, you're going to look at your job totally different. You're going to look at office politics and office gossip way different because you're going to realize I'm only here for a season. I'm only here to master and move. Master and move. All right. Okay, let's scroll through here real quick. Never make a permanent decision off a temporary emotion. Lord, whew, if I had a buck for every time I made that dumb mistake where I moved on emotion and responded on emotion. All right. All right. Earl says, sorry, I missed you. That's what the rewind is for. The rewind is here for that reason only. My brother, Ira Roach, man, I'm glad to see you on here. Ira Roach is another powerhouse speaker and champion. If you get a chance to connect with Ira Roach, me and Ira, we got plans to share the stage here. We're supposed to speak in Canada together last month, June 29th, and it got rescheduled. So I believe the new rescheduled dates for October. So Ira, looking forward to sharing the stage with you in Canada. We're going to rock Ottawa out. I love it. My brother Norley on here says, that's good stuff, my brother. Cindy, thank you for tuning in. We'll keep going through it. Check your pantry. My girl Fatih is on here. She says, hello, Kareem. All right, Miss Cunningham, utilize the resources equipped to you, and then you become a resource to others. Absolutely. We always got to pay it forward. All right. So we're scrolling through here very quickly, and I can't get through every comment, guys, because I don't want to keep you guys up too late. I know some of you guys got to get up early in the morning. All right. Bakor says, I'm focusing and trying to be strategic. Success is about strategy. It's about strategy. You can't think that you're going to luck your way to the finish line. It doesn't work that way, guys. And if you luck your way to the finish line, if you got to duplicate it, you don't know what you did. That's like me trying to make a meal out of this stuff and just pouring in a little this, and then trying to duplicate it. I don't know what I just did, so how can I duplicate it, okay? All right, Pam says, this has been digging at me for the last month or so. Pam, I've been watching you keep pushing forward. All right, Katrina says, this is confirmation. Hands up, hands up. All right, my beautiful girlfriend's on here, and she sends me hearts. Oh, I love you. Can't wait for you to get back. So listen, she was out enjoying an exotic vacation, and I was here because I had to speak. So I'm on social media watching all these photos thinking, just got the hate. Just got the hate. Like, she out there with dolphins and all types of water wildlife, and I'm like, and I'm here in Ohio, sitting around in Ohio. All right, Fatih says, taking a job not for the paycheck, where you going? This is strategic thinking. When you start looking at the resource versus the paycheck, if you master the resource will create the paycheck. Facts about it, the resource properly done will create more than what the job is paying you. That's why I knew when my season was up, my real estate mentor, I had done a deal for her that I found the deal, I tied it up, and I believe, if memory serves me correct, the deal netted her like $32,000. And I got paid $1,000 out of that. And it didn't take me long to figure that out. Oh, I'm done. Because I found the deal. I tied the deal up. I got it to completion. I did all the legwork, and you got paid off my hard work and effort. Nothing personal, but the person that controls your gift, your talent, your expertise controls your payday. And at some point in time, you got to be tired of making other people rich. I'm just being real. There has to be a time when you sit back and say, you know what, I'm tired. Getting up every day and watching these people live their best life, and I'm living a life of less than what I'm supposed to have. The person that controls your gift, your talent, your expertise will control your payday. If you don't get anything else out this call, please pay attention to that, because some of y'all turning y'all gift and talent, expertise over too freely, too easily, way too easy, and they know what your gift is worth. But if they pay you what it's actually worth, they can't make the profit. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. We going so deep into this territory. I am not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm trying to clear the screen up so I can see you guys, because I'm giving y'all gold today. I'm giving y'all so much gold today that y'all should be able to sleep. Y'all should be restless like, what did he say? What did he tell me? Oh, Lord, I love it. All right. Fatih says, job is a resource to shift your strategy. Ms. Cunningham says, gifts and talents, what's in your hand will be the exact thing you need to elevate you to the next level, but it will cost you, and are you prepared for the investment and to pay the right cost? Bakor says, what's in my pantry? My brother Greg Walker's on here, the big dreamer. Greg, you have a speaking thing coming up here as well, man. Feel free to post that on here where Greg's teaching folks the fine art of speaking. So if you want to post it on here for the folks on here today, you can as well. Let's scroll through. Yes, do not share your vision with everyone. The times I got burned, I gave my vision to people that shouldn't have been sitting at the round table. You don't be so excited about your dream that you tell the wrong people what you up to. Because if they don't like you and they hating on you, the moment you start moving in your gift, they're going to try to assassinate you. I promise you. There's been times when I got let go from jobs, and I knew because I talked too much. And they couldn't handle the glory of the vision. And so the only thing they could do was try to bury the vision. All right. All right. So my girlfriend Maya says they can't handle. No, they can't handle it, babe. Not today. They can't handle it. I'm giving them way too much. All right. Classy says humility. We got down here. Humility will bring you so far, without a doubt. When you get blessed, you get to feed your enemies. Let me tell you something. When you get to the level that you can bless your enemies, that's a totally different standpoint. I have had the opportunity to cut my enemies' throat. The folks that didn't believe in me, the folks that turned their back on me, the folks that lied upon me, lied upon my character, the folks that did everything in their power to shut me down. And God put me in such a place and level where I had the ability to repay them in kind. And I ended up blessing them. It may have been that I paid for resources for them. I put in a good word for them. I spent my time blessing them because I knew at that moment God was saying, I've given you the resources. You can get even, but I'm interested in you about. They're one about character, okay? All right. My man Jose Flores is on here. Jose is another powerhouse speaker. Look at all these folks in the building. Follow Jose Flores, powerhouse speaker. All right. We got Ask Ashley on here. Ask Ashley, thank you for tuning in tonight. Love what you're doing as well here locally. All right, we're still scrolling through here. All right, Minister Alfredo Jones Roby says, help us, Lord, we sitting on gold mines. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. You are sitting on gold. And because you've not been taught to think that way, you letting that gold mine go undiscovered. You have to be aware of your resources. You must know what's in your pantry, because you don't know what you're looking for unless you realize what you already got access to, okay? Knowing that I have access to Les Brown on certain things means I shouldn't be out there in the streets looking for access. So I should be out there in the streets looking for someone to teach me this, this, and this. I know it's in the pantry. So I can pick up that phone and say, hey, Les, I got a question for you. Or Les, something came across my lap, don't make any sense. Hey, Les, I'm not sure how I can best benefit this. How should I work this from a deal standpoint where I go to the next level based off of it? You see what I'm saying? When you know what you already have, you stop wasting your time looking for stuff you already have. Okay, so you got to know what's sitting inside about the pantry. So important. So we got down here, what's your God-given gift and talent? What's your expertise? Your ability to implement and understand information expeditiously. Those were some of the things that I work with. Lori Lapata says, chase your dreams at light speed because you don't know when your time is up. Guys, I had 2 near-death experiences in about a 1 to 1.5 year time frame. The first Porsche convertible I got, I slammed it into a telephone pole going 60 miles per hour with no seatbelt on. Did 2 360s and slammed into a telephone pole, and the telephone pole landed about 3 inches behind the driver's side door. Had it been 3 inches up, it would have hit the driver's side door with no seatbelt on. My head would have went bam. I hit with such impact, it severed the back axle of the car. The back wheel snapped off the Porsche, was laying on the ground. That's how hard we hit. And I walked away unscathed. And then shortly after that, I got shot. So if that's not a wake-up call to say, listen, time is not promised. You have an expiration date. Your job is to get your greatness out before your expiration date is pronounced and it's due. Okay? All right. My man Steve Owens is on here. Steve, I'm watching on social media. Keep up the awesome work. My girl Angela Atley is on here. Look, everybody coming out tonight. Vicky Colt's on here. All right. Minister Alfreda Jones, this is with scripture. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and find a mentor. It's a game changer. Absolutely. My brother Rome Mattis is on here. Says, speak Kareem. Rome Mattis is another powerhouse speaker. If you're not following him, you know I'm going to tell you to do, right? Follow Rome Madison. Listen, this is key. Your success will be processed by the 5 people you hang with the most. That 5 doesn't necessarily have to be people you see face to face. If you want to be successful, you have to have successful people inside your pantry. You got to have inside pantry. That's why I've been on the delete spree. If you full of foolishness, you gone. I don't want to look into my pantry and see SpaghettiOs. I don't eat SpaghettiOs. Okay? If you giving me SpaghettiO content on social media on a regular basis, I got to donate you to someone else. Someone else can have you. I don't need a SpaghettiO type mindset. So some of y'all got to remove who you got at your table in your pantry and start following champions of greatness that can pour into you every day. You don't follow me on social media because I'm giving you foolishness. You follow me on social media because I'm feeding you what you need. Okay? All right. So we're going through here very, very quickly. My girl Adrian is on here from Atlanta. Adrian, I want to talk to you because I know the business you're in. I want to talk to you about some stuff. So I expect a message from me in probably like the next 24 hours. I'm interested in some of the people that you have up under your organization. All right. Anthony Campos is on here. Classy says, great message. Amber Goins is on here. Carletta Joyner is on here. Stephen Diamond is on. Y'all came out tonight. Y'all represented. I'm proud to see each and every one of you guys. I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I'm so glad to see y'all on here. Anthony says, fire. Minister Alfreda Jones, Roby says, don't let your resources expire. Amber says, your resources won't last forever. Ashley says, oh my God, I feel like you're talking directly to me. I've been so scared to take advantage of my resources because I'm nervous where it will lead. Listen, I'm glad you said that. Y'all just going to get me in trouble. Listen, the 3 most important days of your life is the day you're born, the day you discover the reason why you're here, and the day you decide to walk in it. The day you decide to walk in it. And it took me 26 years to walk out this thing as a speaker. It took me 26 years because I'm born, I'm here. Duh, common sense. I discovered my purpose. I knew my gift was going to take me someplace. People will see your gift before you do. People will say, man, there's something about you, something on you. When you speak, you command the room. You just have an aura about you when you speak. You grab attention. And so I knew I was going to walk in that line of work. It was either going to be a pastor or something along the lines where I'm blessing other people. But to accept that call on my life, that was something totally different. I wrestled with it. God, I'm not worthy of that. You know what? Me, I'm the college dropout. I don't have the college. Who going to listen to me in a room full of 200 people, 300 people? What I have to tell them? These folks got PhDs behind my name. I'm the entrepreneur. I'm the person that lost it all. I'm the person who was homeless. I was the person thinking about committing suicide because my life sucks so bad. Who am I to do? I'm arguing with God almost like Moses argued at the burning bush. I can't speak. Who am I? And God says, who made man's mouth? I know why I placed you here. Have you realized why I placed you here? And most importantly, are you ready to walk that thing out? Because it's bigger than you. There are people lined up that you have not met yet that will be blessed because you have taken your rightful place at your assigned time for your assignment. So I'm telling you right now, shake off the spirit of fear. Get you a strong confidant that can hold you accountable so you're not walking the journey on your own. When I started this, man, I was scared as I don't know what. I found the right dude. It's my right-hand dude. And he helped me accountable and gave me courage when I lacked courage, okay? When I walked into arenas where everyone else had 2 or 3 degrees behind their name, I walked out there. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you how your gift works. If you walk in your gift the right way with God's favor, you'll outshine people that's been doing it the hard way for years. Favor is not fair. Favor is not fair. When I speak, I'm usually the highlight of the event. And I'm not saying this to brag, or I'm not saying this to throw it out there, but I'm just being clear. When you walk in your calling and you utilize your gift and you walk on the floor of what God put you here to do, you almost become untouchable. You almost become untouchable. You will leave a residue that people can't get off their fingers. Like, I don't know, what's something about that Karim Ellis and that message that brother dropped that I don't even know. Like, out of all the people that spoke this weekend, that dude really just stuck out. That message is still in the back of my head. Even the event planner for the Ford thing, because you guys understand something. Let me explain something. The Ford event wasn't something that I got booked for like three months in advance. She booked me a week before the event. She reached out and said, we need a speaker. I don't know what happened with the speaker they had, but we need a speaker. And so when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I went into that event and crushed it. And I got an email today where she basically said, you exceeded expectations. You were the highlight of the conference. Out of everybody that spoke, they kept talking about you. And you spoke on like the second to last day. They kept talking about you. I got several compliments. I couldn't get out of there without a compliment. You see what I'm saying? So when you walk and just do what you designed to do, God takes care of the heavy lifting. Just focus on mastering what you're supposed to master and let him take care of the rest. To pay attention to the resource. The resource is there for a reason, but just walk out what you're supposed to walk out. Everything else will line up, but you got to take that step. You got to take that step by faith. And remember, procrastination, and I'm going to be clear on this. Procrastination is still disobedience. It is. If you've been commanded to walk this thing out and you procrastinating for any reason whatsoever, that's still disobedience. I gave a Facebook Live a while back where I talked about how my dad was going to spank for me not taking the garbage out. And he made it clear. I told you to take the garbage out this morning, not when you felt like doing it 5 hours later. You know, so delayed obedience is still disobedience. And when you move in the spirit and the timing, the reason why that's taking place, because there's an appointed place and appointed time where there's cross sections and intersections where you're supposed to meet certain people and certain doors are to be open for you. When we talk about the Les Brown connection, had I listened to myself and said, man, why would this dude want to be a mentor to me? Instead of listening to God who said, Kareem, move. He said, move. And I wrestled with it. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I'm being so clear with you. You always got a choice. You always got a choice. So Ashley, I got you in prayer, but you have to move. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous, because where you're going to is greater than where you are now. And you'll be able to bless more people than where you are now. Okay. All right. Charlene says nothing lasts forever. Everything has an end date. Absolutely. Shania says, I feel the same way. My fear of rejection has been blocking things left and right. That's mindset. That's mindset. God did not give you a spirit of fear. There are only 2 fears that you are born with when you come onto this planet. There's only 2. It's the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. The fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. So that means when a baby's sitting in the crib and all of a sudden the baby hears this, the baby jumps and it starts crying because the fear of loud noise shook it. And when you take a baby and act like you're going to drop the baby starts crying. Even now, when you feel like you lose your balance, something in your spirit shouts out like, oh my God, I'm about to fall. Because those are the only 2 fears you are born with. Every other fear is a fear you have learned. Shame the devil, tell the truth. I'm just being real with you. So somewhere along the lines, you have been rejected, most likely in childhood, and the pain from that rejection has carried over to present day, where you're moving in a safe place because you don't want rejection. And what the enemy likes to do is the enemy likes to put up your fear as a barrier to what you're supposed to have of God. Oh, yeah. Why are you doing this today? Why are you letting me do this? We're supposed to be going to bed. You're going to have to push through that rejection, because what you want is on the other side of what you fear. What you want is on the other side of what you fear. And the enemy don't want you to have it. It is whatever it is. And I don't know you well enough to know what it is. Whatever it is powerful. It's a loaded weapon. And so the trick will be there to keep you complacent. I promise you, I've lived it. I did not want to move because I said, man, I'm the college dropout. Who's going to book me to put me in front of a room of people? I I'll go to these rooms and I crush it because I'm designed to crush it, okay? All right, so I'm praying that you will just move in the sense of the Spirit, all right? My man Qaim is down here. Man, we got everybody on this today. My lovely daughter Brianna is still up here. Awesome message. Thank you, Shania, for putting my Instagram out there. Karim Ellis 1. Everybody go run there. Everybody go run there. We're trying to get the numbers up. All right. The title of the book. The title of the book is Caught Between a Dream and a Job by Delatoro L. McNeil. Caught Between a Dream and a Job by Delatoro L. McNeil. All right. My brother Angelus is on here. April Max on here. Esther's on here. Tarsha's on here. We done brought everybody tonight. All the superstars in the building tonight. Everybody's out tonight. My brother Raymond from Canada, Toronto. Oh, Raymond's on here. Listen, everybody's out. If you haven't followed Raymond, I need you to follow Raymond. It's another successful champion of greatness. You need to follow and connect with him. All right, my man Bob Bowman is on here. Doretha's on here. Chandra is on here. Everybody's on here. Rob is on here. Carrie, hey Carrie, I shouted you out earlier. I'm gonna shout you out again. The Magnabilities Conference is coming. Gonna bring that fire. We're gonna bring that fire. I'm looking forward to that group and bringing it. Rob says, "I love it, bro. You certainly hold on, we're reading this wrong. I love it, bro. Did your certainty of purpose really stand out when you connected with Les?" Here's the thing: my purpose stood out before Les. Facts about it, my purpose is letting me know that I needed less. Okay? This is why I say you must be clear. Scripture says, write the vision and make it plain. Plain means clear. So when I teach the concept of GPS your success, a GPS works off clarity. When you put an address in a GPS, number one, you got to be clear about where you're going to. If I put 2733 Smith Street, Cincinnati got a lot of Smith Streets, so I got to be clear on the zip code. Because if I go to 45215 and I need to be going to 45242, we're going to two totally different neighborhoods. So I have to be clear about where I'm going to. The more clear about where I'm going, cans out the way. The more clear about where I'm going, then I understand the resources I need for the journey. The reason why I wasn't aware of the real estate library in my mentor's real estate office, because I wasn't clear of the journey. I just want to make some money to get out of debt and not have to work for anybody anymore. I thought it'd be cool just to get out of debt. I didn't realize the vision was to become a global motivational speaker. In order to do that, you need resources. You need access to cash and capital that's coming in that's not through traditional means. So just by that little tweak of mindset, it changes everything. When you're clear about your purpose, you move differently. Your relationships are different. Your connections are different. How you spend money is different. Who you connect with is different. Who you get taught by is different. There are some people that come to me saying, hey, bro, I want to teach you. Freeze, flag on the play. Because for where I'm going, I don't need your information or your mindset. Thank you. I don't need it. You had nothing to do with my journey. When you get to a level of success, everyone who thinks you have money wants to try to pitch you a service or bring you into something. And based on where I'm going, that sounds great, but that's not the opportunity I need because that distracts me from where I'm going. Okay? So it's your job to get clarity on your purpose. When you get clear on your purpose, the resources make more sense. You can say, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. But I'll tell you what I do need. I need a little bit of this. I need a little bit of this. And I need a little bit of this because what I'm making, I need these things. I don't need the rest of this stuff. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. All right. My girl Faith is on here. Oh, we got everybody in the house tonight. Ace says hi. Well, hello, Ace. All right. Shania says, I've been putting myself in a position where we're ready to answer that one. All right. Pam says, gonna go global. That was always the mission. That was always the mission. That mission was to go and take it global. All right, guys. So I appreciate every single one of you that spent your time with me tonight. I know I kept you guys a little bit longer, but I knew I had to get this one out. If I didn't do anything else tonight, and I hear my dogs downstairs barking for their life, they must got to pee real bad. But I knew if I didn't do anything else tonight, this one here I had to give birth to. It's been sitting inside me for the longest time. It's been festering. The labor pains have been there, and I knew I had to give it out. So again, I want to thank everyone that came on the call tonight. Again, if I'm not connected with you on social media, you already know what to do. I need you to send me a friend request at this account right here and double up to be safe. Also send it to my professional account, because like I said, this one here, I'm deleting folks, but I keep maxing back out. I got a lot of people on holding, okay? But in this season, I'm getting rid of folks that have no business being here in this season to make room. That's right. I feel like some of you guys got assigned seats at this table, and I got to kick people out your designated spot, all right? Second thing, I need you to like this message. I need you to share it. I need you to like it. I need you to share it, because there's some folks out there that need to hear this so they stop wasting the resources in their pantry. And for my Cincinnati folks, there is an event coming up here locally in Cincinnati, and the date is going to be the end of September. It's called the Takeoff Conference, and we're going to rock Cincinnati out. It's going to be a powerhouse presentation for all my folks that's here in Ohio. It's going to be a game changer. We're going to bring some fire at that one there. For my Canada folks, October is a rescheduled date, I believe, for the Let's Brian Gotta Be Hungry tour up there. For my folks in Texas, I'm coming to Texas 2 times. We're doing Texas for the Let's Brian Gotta Be Hungry tour on the 10th of this month. And then Magnability's team, I'm there with you on the 19th to the 20th to rock out the Magnability's conference. It's going to be the bomb.com in the words of Delatoro McNeil. Guys, if you don't have any questions at this point, we're going to go ahead and call this thing to a close. I want to thank you again for spending your time. I pray that I've created value for you. And remember that you are empowered to win. Stop playing to lose. Last but not least, send me a text to Karim at 26786, and I will bless you. I won't spam you, but I will bless you with these different words of wisdom and inspiration. And as always, guys, you be blessed.